Newmar Batman Show. Julie Newmar, Adam West. Now, no Batman show would be complete without my next guest, who was the #1 adolescent crime stopper in TV history. He's since become a successful entrepreneur whose latest project is all about helping kids. Let's welcome the man who was Robin, Burt Ward. Burt? We got the Batmobile. We went all the way. Now, wasn't that what you always used to say? Greetings, citizens.
Yes, to the Bat Pole.
To the Bat Pole. Now, I got to ask you, how did you get the part?
Well, I was studying acting at UCLA, where I was going to college, and I was trying out for acting parts, and I sold a house to a producer who sent me to an agent, and the agent sent me out for the part, and it was the first thing I really ever tried out for. So I guess I was very lucky.
Sure. Well... Did you have any idea when you started that the show would live on and be so
No,
so
I don't think, at least I didn't think that it would necessarily be a big success. We were a mid-season replacement, and as such, we were different. We didn't know what would happen, and of course, after the first night's ratings and a ridiculously high share, then we realized that we had a super hit on our hands.
But there's no place to go but down, right, Burt?
But you became a teen heartthrob. Girls had to have you. They wanted Robin in a big way.
Well, I was pretty sequestered in the Batcave, you know. I mean, they had us ridiculous hours there. We would work, 7:30 in the morning till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and on weekends, we'd go out and do appearances. But at that time, you had so many people crowding around and so many people trying to protect you that I never really had a chance to grow up. I mean, I felt like I kind of spent my young years in the cave.
Now, tell me about the shooting of the show. I understand you got hurt a few times. It was dangerous on the set.
Well, the first show, I was hurt 5 times. And in fact, the first day I was almost killed. And I think I said to Adam that if it keeps up like this, I may not make it to the second show. Yeah. They had all kinds of explosions. I remember Adam was breaking through the wall of a subway station to get to me, and I was tied up on the Riddler's thing, and the guys were supposed to build a breakaway set, and of course, in their infinite wisdom, they didn't. So what they did is they took the easy way. Instead of using a fake type of magnesium explosion, they used real dynamite, and they nearly blew down the soundstage. And of course, the timbers were falling. I mean, I had my hands like this, and then the day or two before, we'd been in a burning car, and we were supposed to get out of the car and jump out, and Adam, of course, was first being Batman, while I was down at the bottom with the fire. And so he came out and, of course, showed his cape for another couple minutes while I'm down there suffocating. And then he jumped out, and as I started to get out, the whole thing blew up, you know? I mean, it's just a dangerous show.
So you're saying Batman let his little buddy get into trouble sometime, huh?
Hey, the kid had to learn. You haven't changed. You haven't changed, Burt.
Now, we have a clip of you where you become a bad guy.
Yes, and in that one sequence, I'm sure that's the one in the candy store where I go Dick Grayson undercover.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Here he is, Burt Ward as Robin, a bad guy, just first.
Oh, come on, baby. Did you miss me?
Well...
Are you still madly in love with me, huh?
Well...
How about a little smooch? You're my kind of dame.
I hardly even know you, Robin.
Kissing is a great way to get acquainted, sweetheart.
But, Robin, I really want you to get the wrong impression of me. I'm not the type of girl to kiss a boy on the first crime.
Close your eyes and pucker, and don't worry about your reputation. You know, Will, what's funny about that, a dear friend of mine, Stanley Ralph Ross, who I understand is coming on, wrote that particular show, and he had written the introduction where Pussycat says to me, you know, Robin, I'm Catwoman's assistant, Pussycat, but you can call me Cat.
The scripts were always very, very campy. Did you guys find yourself sometimes laughing at things
yes,
you had to say?
In one sequence, I think Adam and I, with one director, laughed through 17 takes, and the director, he came up in all seriousness, he said, you know, you two guys are going to laugh me out of the business. But most of the time, we did our laughing before we did our takes so we could get it done.
Mm-hmm. And you worked with some tigers in one scene?
Yeah, 3 Bengal tigers, and it was really interesting because the director, Jim, what was the director's? James Butler, was directing this, and he was in a steel cage about 10 feet above me, and I was about 10 feet over the tigers, and of course they could have actually jumped over my head if they wanted to. And the director says, well, come on, let's get some action going. So they hung meat over my head. And when the cats jumped up, I was going like this, and they said, Burt, that's so realistic. Jeez.
You know, I'm getting that they didn't have a lot of respect for Robin's life on this show.
Well, I think when they found out I was riding a motorcycle to work in the rain, they took this giant insurance policy out of me, and they kept trying to collect to get their money back, I think.
So you were a thrill seeker. Somebody told me also you used to lose your keys a lot at your condo, so you'd have to climb the walls to get into your condominium.
Well, I'm still climbing the walls, Will, but for different reasons. Yeah, that happened. I mean, I think anything that could go wrong, I mean, you know, of course, you know Murphy's Law. Well, I believe in Sullivan's Law, and that's Murphy was an optimist, so it always happens to me.
Now, tell me about what you're doing these days. You have a project you're doing with kids.
Yes, I love kids, and I know you have one.
I have a little 21-month.
Right, Nicholas?
Nicholas, right.
And I have a program called Early Bird Theater to teach kids social values, things like honesty is the best policy. And we're going into 300,000 to 500,000 daycare centers and preschools across the country. That's our marketplace, to teach kids these wonderful values such as honesty, in hopes that when they grow up, we're going to have a better America with less crime and a better place for all of us.
Good for you. That's terrific.
And Stanley Ralph Ross, Stanley was nice enough to direct our first series of shows, and we operate by franchise offices across the country. But the main thing is that we try to help kids, and every child, because kids love to belong to things, every child gets a membership in our Early Bird Theater Club, and I brought a honorary membership for little Nicholas.
Oh, great.
A little Early Bird Theater sweatshirt.
Wow. That's what we have a little piece, we have a little film clip, we have a little clip
great.
of Early Bird. What are we going to see with Early Bird?
Well, what we're going to be seeing with Early Bird is just a show opening, but we have teaching supplements that teach social values, and we have product from all the major motion picture studios that are furnished to teach these kids these wonderful things. So it's teaching through entertainment.
Oh, great. All right, let's take a look at Early Bird, Burt Ward's newest project. That's great. Well, thank you for I'll give this to Nicholas.
Yes.
We're going to bring out, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll bring Stanley out, who wrote all the crazy stuff you guys did. Can you stick around for that?
I think he's crazier than Adam and I put together.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break and be back with Stanley Ralph Ross, who wrote all the crazy stuff you saw in Batman. After this, don't go away. Plus Baxter.
Coming up, we'll press one of the program's primary pundits, writer Stanley Ralph Ross. Stay tuned.